Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're talking DC's newest event, Heroes in Crisis #1. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're going to talk about we're going to talk a lot about Heroes in Crisis #1. This is the version I bought on the iPad, like all my other comics. But let's get into it. It's written by Tom King, art by Mann, and, can't complain about the art in this issue. The art is fantastic. If you've ever seen anything by Mann, it's really, really detailed. His facial expressions are good. Nobody really looks the same, which is nice. He's not like Ed McGuinness or some of the other artists, Rob Liefeld especially, where every guy looks the same and every girl looks the same. He's very varied, I think. So he's a very good artist. So I can't complain about that. What I can complain about and what I will complain about and why I didn't like this issue is because it's another Tom King issue where, they were advertising all these things and some things do happen and some things don't happen and some things happen that you're like, why is this happening? This feels silly and stupid for no reason. DC's been advertising this with a Who Will Die poster, and I guess in ads in the physical books on the DC Nation for last month. There was an ad like Who's Gonna Die, and Robin, Arsenal, Wally West, Flash were on there, as well as a couple other members. So Booster Gold and Harley Quinn, one of these people is going to die in Heroes in Crisis #1. Not only did one of them die, a few of them did. And it's the weirdness of it all and the way it happened in the book that I kind of take issue with. So it's Tom King. If you haven't remembered my Tom King review of Batman, or review of Batman 50 written by Tom King, I'm kind of ho-hum on him. His Vision miniseries he wrote for Marvel, 12 issues of greatness. Really, really good. The Mr. Miracle series he's doing for DC right now, I'm really, really enjoying that. But I'm kind of ho-hum on his Batman work, kind of waffling a little bit. And with Heroes in Crisis #1, it's kind of a little bit on the negative side as far as it's kind of consistent for me with his Batman stuff. Some issues are really good, some issues are not. And some issues feel like there's too many narration boxes or too much introspective stuff that he's doing instead of being a purely superhero comic, which I'm fine with treading that line, but when you cross over more towards the introspective art stuff and you don't really deliver on that side, I feel like you're almost like aping Grant Morrison's Final Crisis in that way, but not... the nice thing about Grant Morrison when he gets really weird is he gets really, really, really weird. He's, pulling in, you talk about Final Crisis itself, it's the heroes of the universe against Darkseid, and then Darkseid ends, and then turns out there's this super cosmic vampire that needs to be defeated in a 4D realm or whatever with hyper music and hyper time and musical notes, and Superman sings to some weird tune to defeat this super cosmic vampire and stuff like that, and that puts the universe back together, and there's a yellow submarine spaceship that's flying through all these different multiverses and stuff like that. Like I said, really, really, really weird. Tom King almost likes to do that type of stuff, except it's not on the weird side, it's more of the intro artsy side. So that Grant Morrison concept is almost like an independent, he feels like an independent comic book instead of a mainstream book. And that's why I think Grant Morrison succeeds, because he pulls in these weird ideas into his superhero stories and then wraps them up in, continuity and old ideas and, tradition and stuff like that, and then forms one kind of weird and sometimes great piece of art. Look at All-Star Superman. There are some weird ideas in there, but they feel retro, they feel unique, they feel different, and, paired with Frank Quitely, I'm looking at the book over there, it turns out really great. Tom King on Heroes in Crisis here feels like he's trying to pull from that indie stuff that he's done with The Vision and with Mr. Miracle, but it's not coming together, at least in the first issue of what is billed to be an event book. So let's get to the meat of it. What I really think was the weirdest part is that we've been teased this idea of sanctuary, like not really in books. There was I can't remember which books it was that, you know, they actually mentioned it. We're going to send so and so to sanctuary. We're going to send so and so to sanctuary. We never found out what this place was. We just knew that Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman had a hand in it. We don't know where it is. It's a secret location, but most of that information has really been in like the ads and advertising and interviews for this Heroes in Crisis issue #1. If you just read this cold and haven't read any of that like supplementary or advertisery promotional stuff, you would not know what the heck is going on. Sanctuary, what's that? Why are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman involved? Why do they feel so responsible? There's no information in this issue that sets up what Sanctuary is, what it does, who built it, and why they feel so involved. Maybe that'll come in later issues, but for a #1 issue, this is missing a lot of information. You know, you have some scenes with Booster and Harley, which I feel are the best parts of the book, where they're kind of going to battle, and you don't really know when it's taking place. I think it's in the present, it's not really in the past. And then you've got these interview scenes with people who are at Sanctuary with Arsenal, Blue Jay, Booster Gold, and Harley, and it's like it's almost a static panel with the character moving against a static background, kind of an interview thing. But I know those are there for a reason. It's just that the reason isn't laid out, and they don't tell you what they are. And you know, in the 9 panels that each character gets, there's not a whole lot of information given on what Sanctuary is or why they're there. So here come the spoilers, I guess. If you haven't read Heroes in Crisis #1 and you want to read it, this is the time to turn off the issue, or turn off the video and go to the next one. If you have read it, we're going to talk about it right now. So the people that die in this book that I was really, really shocked at, there's one panel where they reveal who the major characters who die. And this is really meant to be a shocking death. And if they stay dead in this series, who knows? I think it's meant to be inferred that, you know, pretty much everybody is dead at this superhuman clinic massacre. It's really sold as like a massacre. You know, there's what's this guy's name? Hotspot is dead. I don't know who that guy was. Maybe he's new. I think he was meant to be like Bunker originally, and they pulled that back. Who else is here? There's a green guy that's dead. Commander Steel from the JSA. First appearance in the New 52, I think. And/or Rebirth. He's dead for some reason. Throwaway character, okay. But the legacy characters that they killed, one of them I'm fine with. The other one is what I'm really like irked about. The first one that you see is dead at the top of this panel is Arsenal, or Roy Harper, the former sidekick to Green Arrow. Now, in the New 52 and Rebirth, he's kind of been relegated to the Red Hood and the Outlaws book. He's made a couple appearances in the Green Arrow runs that they've launched, but he's not really a major character. There's nothing to do with him. There's nothing to explore with him. They gave him like a new attitude and made him wear a hat and shades all the time, which I thought was a little weird. And made him kind of more of a jerk and a screw-up than what he was before the New 52. So if they kill him off, it's no big deal to me. He wasn't my favorite character. I thought in this last, 7 years or so since the New 52, he wasn't really anything to do with... He wasn't really anything at all. So kill him, fine. What I do have a problem with is this next character, and they killed Wally West. That's right, you heard me. They killed Wally West. Again. Well, did he ever die the first time? No, he went into the Speed Force. But I think this is the first true death of Wally West, if it sticks, after all. But what's the most puzzling thing to me is that the DC Rebirth special, which happened 2 years ago, which is not a long time in comic book time, was all about the return of Wally West. And something that fans had yelled for, the entire, I don't know how long that original run was, maybe it was 5 years of the New 52, people were going, where's Wally West? Where's Wally West? Where's Wally West? So the reason behind that is, Barry Allen got killed in Crisis on Infinite Earths back in 1986. Wally West took over as the Flash, the main Flash, since then. So from 1986 until 2011, Wally West was the Flash. That's over 20 years as the Flash, and he had a really good run with Jeff Johns. And Mark Waid had a really good run with him as the Flash. So It was the Flash for a lot of modern comic book readers' minds. Then they pushed him aside and brought Barry back, just as they did with Hal Jordan and stuff like that. And it was kind of weird. And then New 52 happened, and he was never mentioned. Then we get a Wally West in the New 52, which is the version you see on the Flash TV show, this younger African-American version of Wally West. And then with the DC Rebirth special, we get old Wally, white Wally West back, original, whatever you want to call him, the old flavor. And then you find out that Iris Allen, because Wally West is Iris Allen's nephew, and she's Barry's wife. They're not married right now, but they were for a long time in the old continuity. He's supposed to be her nephew. So, in having two kids named Wally West that are both Flashes and have Flash powers, you then find out that Iris has two different brothers that named their kids Wally West and then abandoned them. Well, one of them turned into Reverse Flash in the New 52 continuity, but that's the African American, the new Wally West. So why did no brother either know that the other guy was naming his kid Barry or Wally at the same time? That's really weird. Hey Wally, hey kid, you're born, you have a cousin that's called Wally. I'm gonna give you Wally too. Where's this? It's really, really weird, and I feel like it was, that kind of spells it out that it's really meant to placate fans, not that they really had a plan to bring him back all along. Nobody really took to the new Wally West. At least, I didn't until he started actually getting developed in the Flash Rebirth series, which is great. And Josh Williamson has been on that book for more than 50 issues, done a great job. But you have old Wally West coming back, and he has blue lightning as opposed to gold lightning and stuff, and he has a red costume just like regular Flash. The difference is in the Rebirth continuity, he's got the half mask that Kid Flash does, except it being a yellow costume, it's red, and you see the tuft of his red hair, and that's how he's identifiable as Wally West. And I think he's got silver flash markings and stuff instead of the gold that Barry does. And the red's a little bit different shade. But in this book, he's dead. Dead. That was the wrong page. Where did it go? Dead. Is it showing up? Dead. So you got 2 years, and there's supposed to be this mystery, including Wally West, how he came back from the Speed Force, why that happened to Rebirth. There's a whole bunch of stuff in, the other book we're going to talk about this week with Dr. Manhattan, that supposedly Wally West saw Dr. Manhattan, and how is that going to get resolved in that book if Wally West is in fact dead? It just is really, really strange, really weird that you bring back this character to fans' demands, you cave to fans, you bring him back in what it was a really cool way, and then you put him in the Titans book, and he seems to be doing really well there. He made a couple appearances in the main Flash book with Barry, and he was doing really well there under Josh Williamson. And then you're going to let Tom King kill him off, who's only written Batman for you for the last 2 years, maybe some Grayson. I think Tom King is a good writer. I don't think he's a great mainstream whiz-bang-boom superhero writer. And I don't know if this is DC's fault or Tom King's fault. However, it just feels really muddy and really, really insincere and reeks of the type of event comic book storytelling that we all love to hate, where it's just a death for a death's sake and not truly meaning anything. Much less, we don't know why. No, I think Wally went there at the end of the Flash War little storyline and stuff, but you don't find out what happened to him while he was at Sanctuary. You don't find out what he was struggling with. There's no character development for Wally West in this book for his death to mean anything, at least at this point. Much less, there's no character development for any of these people at Sanctuary for their deaths to mean anything. This might as well have been an SVU episode on USA that you're just turning on to as the detectives walk up onto the body and find out, oh, there's another murder, I guess we gotta solve it. That's really what this issue reeks of. And that's not what I want in my superhero storytelling. I get that in Chicago PD and Law & Order SVU and the original Law & Order. I love it that way, but I don't want it in my character-developed storytelling. So, Heroes in Crisis, I'll give you a few more issues after that. If you don't prove yourself, I'm done. Tom King, yeah, I think you need to stick to the 12-issue contained arcs, because when you start to spread your wings a little bit, and we'll see how the Batman run turns out, but it's looking as if you don't really know what the fans want, or how to build up a story in a way that even if you're doing something the fans don't want, you can sell it to them efficiently and in a way that they're not going to hate you right away, like they probably did with this. So anyway, that's my review of Heroes in Crisis #1. Let me know what you guys thought in the issue down below in the comments. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever the heck this platform this is on. And I will see you guys next time in the funny pages.